This video was requested to be done in one of my last videos, so here we go, I'm doing it. I am by no means a big YouTuber whatsoever. I am super tiny with my little channel, but I am a film and video major at my university. I have been working with video equipment for almost 6 years now. I have a very good understanding of video and a pretty good understanding of equipment as well. So today I'm going to tell you and show you and explain to you how I film and edit my YouTube videos along with the type of equipment that I use. And just gonna throw it out there, I am a college student, so I did try to do everything equipment-wise pretty much on the cheap, or at least as cheap as I could. So while a DSLR camera, which is what I use, is not the cheapest, pretty much all of my other equipment was pretty cheap. And it has worked pretty well for me, so let's just get into the video. First off, let's get started with the video equipment that I use. My camera is the Canon EOS Rebel T5i. That's a DSLR, and those are a little bit pricey, but it is a very good camera, and it has a flip out lens, which is essential if you are trying to do YouTube videos where you're like sitting down like this, because you need to be able to see yourself. Like right now I'm looking in the viewfinder. That is how I can see myself and know that I'm still recording, know that my shot is framed up well and everything. While you don't need a DSLR camera to make good quality YouTube videos, if you do get one, I do recommend getting one with a flip out screen. This camera does a lot for me. I also use it for photography, and I use it for school as well. Any sort of projects, video projects that I need to do, I use it for. It's pretty versatile, but the camera body itself for me is not what is as crucial, but instead it's the lens. Right now what I'm using is the Canon zoom lens, which is an 18 to 55 millimeter. It's what this camera came with, and it is a very good lens, but 50 millimeter is my favorite. Sadly, I cannot use 50 millimeter for my YouTube videos because mine, I got a cheap one that was only like 56 bucks, and so it's a set lens, which means it can't zoom in or out, and because of that, it's just causes problems for me to be able to frame myself up far enough away from the camera, and it's kind of a problem, so I have to use this one. But if you are interested in getting more of a bokeh look, which is when you have the lights in the background being very circular and when just the background is very blurred, you're going to want to go with the 50 millimeter lens, and that is one that I do have, but again it's set so it doesn't zoom in or out. But that just allows you to have the blurred background because of the aperture, which is what controls your depth of field with the f-stop, which a lot of that just sounds like technical talk, but basically the 4 big things that you're going to want to pay attention to and understand when you are using a DSLR camera is your white balance, your shutter speed, your aperture, and your ISO, but I'm not going to get into that right now because that would make the video super duper long. If you want a video explaining that kind of stuff, I can definitely do that for you, but to keep this video from going super long, I'm not going to get into that. But if you want it, definitely leave a like on this video and leave in the comments, and that will let me know that you want an in-depth explanation on how to properly use a DSLR camera. Moving on from my camera to my microphone, I have one that is like Japanese or something. It is not English, but I got it on Amazon for a pretty good price. I will link it below and tell you on the screen how much it was because I cannot remember off the top of my head, but I want to say it was around 20. I don't know, it'll be on the screen. Again, this is a foreign brand. It is not English. It's just called a recording microphone in English, and the brand is like Taxstar or something like that. I don't know, probably not pronouncing that right, but it's just a normal shotgun microphone that attaches to the top of a camera. This one was not very expensive whatsoever, and it has done me pretty well, so I just stick with it. Next up is the tripod that I use. My tripod is a Polaroid. Again, I will try to link all of my equipment down in the description box. It's a 72-inch by 183 centimeters tripod. So that means this can go up to 6 feet tall, which is really nice to be able to do that. You obviously are going to need a tripod of some sort if you are trying to do this type of YouTube video because you need your camera setting on something. You can do anything if you really need to, like a chair or just like a stack of books or whatever, but for me a tripod just is essential for my major. It's also super duper helpful to have this instead of having to do some really weird setup with my camera. Next are the lights that I use. I got these off of Amazon for a relatively cheap price. They are umbrella lights. Good lighting is essential for good YouTube videos, whether that means using light from the windows or it means using studio lighting. Just any sort of bright LED type light like the sun or an LED bulb is going to make your YouTube videos look great. Bad lighting will make your YouTube videos look much less quality than they might be even if you have a really good camera. If your lighting sucks, then your video is just not going to look as good as it could. It's like 7 o'clock at night right now, so the sun isn't doing me a whole lot of favors, but I do have my 2 lights pointed at me, so my lighting is okay right now. It's not as best as it could be because of the time of day, but if I was to turn these 2 off, then it would look like this. So good lighting is important. So if I was to have this super duper dark look and try to fix it with my camera, that would mean I would need to bump my ISO up a ton, which creates digital noise that you just do not want. It does not look good. See, this just looks nasty. This is as high as my iOS can go which is what controls the lighting on here, and it just looks bad. So good lighting is good. Next is the software that I edit on, and what I use is Adobe Premiere, though I do know that a lot of YouTubers use iMovie, which is perfectly good for YouTube videos. The only reason that I use Adobe Premiere is for school. Since I'm a film and video student, Adobe Premiere is much more professional and it's much closer to industry standard. Since I need Premiere for school, I already bought it. I have a student discount, so it's still expensive. It's like $17.99 a month, so I definitely don't recommend getting it if you are just interested in making YouTube videos, but because I need it for school anyway, I go ahead and edit my YouTube videos on there. But even for my just normal typical YouTube videos, I do not need all of the effects and all the possible things that Premiere gives me. I don't need that, nor do I use it for my YouTube videos for the most part. So I recommend just sticking to a cheaper alternative such as iMovie or just something that is much less expensive than Premiere. Another thing with YouTube videos is the background that you have and the types of videos that you make. I have obviously fallen into doing more college videos. That's basically what I know a lot about, so it's what I make videos about. So if you're interested in creating a YouTube channel of some kind, you're definitely going to want to pick a topic of some sort that you know a lot about or that you're interested in. For backgrounds as well, you want to do something that's interesting enough. This is as good as I could do for my room at my parents' house, just because it was the only somewhat interesting looking area in my room that was good enough for me to be able to fit a tripod and lights and stuff in front of. Also for my videos, I keep a running list of all of my possible ideas and all of the information for my ideas, such as my last video that I uploaded, College Day Move-In Tips. I have had that idea written in my notebook since before I even started my YouTube channel, and I planned to do it towards the end of summer because that's when I know most people are going to be searching for that type of video. And I keep that just written down in this notebook here, and then I plan out when I'm going to upload videos in my calendar. That way it just keeps myself organized as to when I'm going to film what and when I'm going to upload what and all that good stuff. It keeps me from waiting until the last minute to film something and then upload it, or deciding what I'm going to upload, coming up with a video idea, because otherwise I would probably wait until the last minute. So doing it beforehand and keeping a running list of it and telling myself when I'm going to upload it just makes sure to keep me on top of it. But yeah, that is how I film my YouTube videos. So again, if you want me to make a more in-depth video on how to use a DSLR camera, I would be more than happy to do so. Just give this video a like so I know that that's what you want, and leave it in the comments as well. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments as well. I'll be happy to answer any of them. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you want, you can also subscribe to me. Like I mentioned, I mostly put out college-related content, but I also put out other types of content. All you have to do is request it in the comments. That's how this video came to be. That's how another could come to be if you want it from me, and I will give it to you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.